Hey everyone! So today I'm going to talk about, is Japan safe? Now, when you're traveling to another country, obviously you want to know whether or not that country is safe and how much you need to prepare for that. Well, short answer, yes, Japan is totally safe. It's one of the safest countries in the world, actually. And the reason being is that Japan's ideals are based off the community and the people as a whole versus the individual. And so that makes people consider other people more, and so they tend to not have as much crime, if that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe I didn't say that very well, but that's how I'm going to say it. So I wanted to look up governmental statistics on it, and I don't have like strict numbers, but when I went to the osac.com, it pulled from the government statistics and gave like a general overview of what's not safe and what is safe and like where are the crime areas and everything like that. So I'll kind of go over that. So the areas that are more prone to crime are obviously going to be in like the bigger cities. So like in Tokyo, it's going to be Roppongi, which is actually a really nice area. So I think it's kind of weird that it has crime, but it does make sense because there's a lot of people that go there. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of bars. There's a lot of nightlife. So anywhere that has a lot of nightlife tends to have more potential for crime. And so Roppongi, Shibuya, Shinjuku, and Ikebukuro. And it's funny because there's this anime that's called Durarara, and that's centered in Ikebukuro, and it has like gangs and crime syndicates and things like that. So it's kind of an interesting little truth into Japanese culture. But honestly, there is not a lot of crime that they report. It's a rare occasion, few and far between, and typically it is centered around those areas that have a lot more night activities. So places like bars, nightclubs, and massage parlors. And then they also mention the Yakuza, which is basically like the mafia for Japan. Here we have like Scarface and other movies, The Godfather, things like that. That's based off of our mafia, but they also have the Yakuza, and you typically see those guys like with the full chest tats and lots of dragons and very ornate and beautiful. And that is why you are not allowed to have tattoos in onsens, because that kind of connotates a negative situation. And then they also mention, oddly enough, there are African crime syndicates there, which I think is really strange. But you do notice around Harajuku that there's like some interesting looking fellas always trying to coax usually young Asian men to back alleys. It's just kind of sketchy. It's kind of like going down Santee Alley in Los Angeles, or it's like certain places in New York when you're walking around. People are like, hey, let me show you something. I got something real cheap back here, something really good back here. The best stuff is in the back, and it's like down this alley that's really dark and shady. No one's ever going to find your body later. So I recommend staying away from those guys. And anybody who is like, hey, come here, come with me, don't go with them. It's a bad idea. I can't say that I'm not guilty of doing that, but I went with a friend, so it was okay. Other crimes like cyber crimes or ATM fraud and things like that are very rare as well in Japan. I feel like it happens more frequently in the US than it does in Japan. So if you're comfortable hanging out in the US like I am, then you should be comfortable in Japan. It's pretty rare. I feel like if you end up traveling towards the 2020 Olympics during that time frame, things might get a little bit more hairy because that many people coming from so many different countries, it makes it more possible to breed some crime, but I believe that will be a very temporary situation. So ladies, if you're walking down the streets alone, you really don't have to fear for your safety, even at night. It is so safe in Japan, it's insane. When I walk around at night, I don't get creeped out. Like when I walk here in Los Angeles, I'm constantly looking over my shoulders. I'm constantly keeping a wary eye because I've had some bad experiences here.
I had a bad experience. Damn it.
And there's crazy people everywhere. But in Japan, I feel like there are not a lot of crazy people. People like to cover up the crazy, and they work really hard at that. And so the likeliness that you're going to be attacked or having something bad happen to you is very low and minimal. The only time, like I mentioned in my metro video, is you could get groped on the train. So maybe stick to the ladies only cars or travel with somebody, and that'll be good. Or always get a seat. or stand by the door. So I hope that even though this video is very short, that it was also very informative. And again, I definitely think that going to Japan is completely safe. It's definitely one of those places where you don't have to worry about like wearing a fanny pack or having like a credit card protector or something. Like you could pretty much walk with like dollar bills stuck to your body and people are not going to take them. They're like a very honest culture. And also the further out of the city you go, the safer it tends to get. Obviously things can happen, but I think that you should go and enjoy your time and don't worry about being safe because Japan is super duper safe. I've said safe like a million times. So don't forget to give me a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye!